Uh, Good morning. It's an excellent Tuesday morning. About to have my creatine. Yeah, you can see my face still has this puffiness to it. Been working on that. I do apparently face massaging. Uh, Irritating. It's like a it's after laying down for so many hours and it like balances out some inflammation in my body and the fluids. Very unpleasant stuff. Not exactly positive in any way, shape, or form. But you know, uh, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, it's better than having that sunken in Ozempic face, though. I had whenever I first lost a ton of weight, um, and I wasn't on any kind of GLP-1 drugs, but I did have a little bit. No, but didn't like that at all. Mm, didn't look good. Don't like this either, though. Right, it's puffiness. Mm. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta deal with things. But I'm feeling really good today. Fantastic, in fact. It's back to my sleeping schedule, being able to completely get back on it. Because yesterday I still woke up at the same time that I always do, but I was traveling a lot during the day, so my sleep time didn't get to be exactly what I prefer. My wake up time was identical though, because something is always consistent. And that was the thing that ended up being consistent no matter what. But no, I got to actually go to sleep at the time that I find works for me and wake up on time. It's great. And it happens naturally. There's no alarms or anything. I can't say this would happen for everybody, but for most people, if they build in that sleeping schedule that works for them, alarms stop being necessary, at least from what everyone I've heard. And it was for me, but maybe for others, who knows. It's very good though, very, very good to be able to sleep completely. And I got a busy day. Oof, a lot of stuff to do today. But hey, if I didn't have anything, then what would what would I do? It's kind of like when I love when I was talking to someone not that long ago. I'm just rambling right now, but yeah, they were complaining about their job, and this was an observation I had made. It was the first time I made this observation, and I do think it's got a point. But they were complaining about all these things and saying how they hated it and how they didn't want it anymore. And I asked them, it's like, well, what would you do? What would you be doing right now if you didn't have to come to this job? And I'm like, I'd be out fishing on my boat. And I was like, okay, yeah. How often would you do that? I'd do it every day. And it's like, and we talked about things, and I asked a series of questions. It's like, okay, like seriously though, like, what you had what was the longest time you've ever taken off, like taken leave? And he took leave for a whole month one time, and it's like, well, what did you do? And he did. He went fishing 3 days in a row when he did that, and then he went out and went to the movies, and he told me he then sat at home the rest of the time. It's like, yeah. Fact of the matter is that the majority of people, there are exceptions, the majority though, if they don't have stuff being presented to them to do, like the job, they end up just kind of doing nothing. And that's completely unhealthy. No positive things there at all. And they end up actually getting worse off, sometimes getting very depressed. Find hobbies, of course, I support that. Find things to occupy yourself with when you don't have a job. That's fantastic. That's what I do. But not everybody naturally seems to. I shouldn't say naturally. I'm pretty sure even I've learned to do it. I just was taught to me at a very young age, probably. But there is no. A lot of people, their work, even if they don't like it, even if they complain about it, even if you hate many of the people there, without it, many would have naught to do, and they actually would be worse off. It's interesting. It's interesting. So, stop focusing on the negative. You say you would hate it, or you hate your job, but you might hate not having it. It's just a thought. But, I do support finding passions that you could occupy the 8 hours a day as if you were working every day. I have them. Many other people have them. But most people I come across don't seem to have that. And it's unfortunate. Then the job ends up becoming very important, mentally and physically. So that's why a lot of people, when they stop working, they start dying. But that's not inevitable. It doesn't have to be. But it does seem to be naturally for most people. So it's worth thinking about, I think. Worth knowing what kind you are. And implement some change if that's what you want. Otherwise, just continue on. Have your job be the thing that keeps you going. But regardless, have a good one or a bad one. I won't tell you what to do.